Well, many of my atheist friends don't simply think that God's irrelevant. They say that this kind of thing, a COVID pandemic, proves that God simply does not exist. And we've got to face the reality of that. Now, perhaps the world's most famous atheist is Richard Dawkins, one of my colleagues at Oxford, and I've debated him several times on these issues. And he takes a very strong atheist view, meaning that he says, look, you look at the universe full of all the awful things that we see. It shows that ultimately, and I'm quoting now, there is no justice, there is no good, there is no evil. The universe is just like what we'd expect it to be if that were the case. And he ends up by saying DNA just is, and we dance to its music. So that is an extremely deterministic view, but you'll notice that it does away with morality. There is no good, no evil, and no justice. Now, the first thing I would want to say is that it's an awful view, but of course, if it's right, we have to accept it. But I don't think it's right, because I believe that good and evil are real. We are moral beings, all of us, irrespective of worldview and religion, know about good and evil. We experience, for example, shame when we do something wrong. And in all of our cultures, we see in television people who are ashamed of what they've done. They've cheated, for example, a major industry of money, or they've done various things like that. So we all know about those kind of things. And we feel very deeply in our hearts. So we're aware, and the atheist view says, oh, well, there's nothing in that. That's just your own psychological, subjective impression. Well, I want to say this. I don't believe it's true, because I believe morality is real. But secondly, many atheists think that by saying that is just how the universe is, that's it. That's the solution to the problem. But it's not. The suffering still remains. Some of them are happy with their so-called solution, but they haven't got rid of the suffering. But what is very clear, by definition, is that they have got rid of all ultimate hope. Now, I stress that word ultimate, because most of us, we manufacture, quite rightly, hopes for ourselves. We hope perhaps to get a better job. We hope to have a house. We would like to buy a car. We would like to maybe have a family, and so on. So those are hopes, and they can keep our life going, and they're important to our lives. But ultimate hope, that is, we all face death, and it might come with COVID-19, who knows? Is there a hope that transcends death? Is there a hope that gives us a secure future, no matter what happens to these more limited hopes? And there, atheism, by definition, has absolutely nothing to say. It cannot say anything to my sister to give her hope, whereas Christianity has a great deal to say. It says, look, your daughter has died, but she trusted Christ. She had a living faith. She will rise again. You will see her again because you believe in Jesus as well. Now, this is a hugely real thing that has been tested on millions of people throughout history. And therefore, a very big question to ask of any worldview is, does my worldview give me real hope in the face of suffering? So atheism, it seems to me, doesn't lead anywhere. But I've also got strong reasons for believing it to be false. Now, we could go into those, but I have a website, johnlennox.org, where I've done a lot of lectures on this, because many people think that science proves that there is no God, that atheism is true. I think it's the opposite. Science gives very powerful evidence that there is a God, but that's a topic for another time.